And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to get a Democratic perspective of Governor Brown's budget and State of the State address. My guest is Katcho Achadjian, who is a member of the State Assembly from San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties. Thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
So what's your take on the governor's budget and overall agenda?
I think overall it was positive, especially compared to 3 years ago when we first came in with a $26 billion deficit, and today we don't have that deficit. And we have a balanced budget, which means that we're not spending more than we're taking in. But considering that we still have unfunded mandates, infrastructure needs, there needs to be money put aside to address those needs.
Well, you're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars in
Hundreds
unfunded
of billions
mandates.
of dollars. If you look at the teachers' pension fund, needs $80 billion. If you look at state workers' retirement health care plan, it's about 60-some billion. Unfunded mandates. If you put it all together, by the end of the day, we'll probably have close to $400 billion.
So when you talk about putting away or saving some funds to deal with those mandates, how would you reconfigure his budget?
Well, today's budget is one thing, but come May revise could be yet another thing. So I'm very appreciative the governors want to restrain that we don't overspend or create new programs. And when I say we overall, us both in Assembly and the Senate, obviously we have a debt to lower. And if we don't, the interest cost on those debts is enormous amount of money. And then you have also rainy day fund, which we must consider very seriously. And of course, the devil is going to be in details as what is it really, rainy day funds? Are you going to go back and be able to borrow? I hope not. It has to serve a purpose. We survived this recession. Doesn't mean, and every year that I have faced one, it's been worse than the time before. That means hopefully the other one we won't witness, but if we do, and if it's not any worse than what we experience, we're going to need more funds. Otherwise, the cut's going to be much more severe than we ever faced.
The legislative analyst has said our current $3.2 billion surplus could very well go up to like $8 billion in a couple of years, and after the May revise, it may go up, higher also. You would favor just banking that money and saving it?
Majority of banking and saving it. We have some programs who severely were cut, and see that if we can improve some existing programs, but not necessarily new programs. I think with Prop 30 and the dollar amount of the budget, because of Prop 98 is a percentage of the budget that goes to education, I think we have stopped the bleeding for education. So we need to recover some of the severities where we hit it hard with the education. Be sure we visit that. Be sure we take care of healthcare, because you can't have a child today in a classroom unhealthy and be able to learn. They're our future, our responsibility. So we want to be sure that they have good taken care of health-wise and education-wise.
One of the proposals in the Democratic caucus, both the Assembly and the Senate, is for transitional kindergarten, which would be $1 billion over 5 years, which would be a new program. It sounds to me like you would not favor that because it's new spending.
You're right. It's a new spending, and then the impact on existing schools and their needs, because you need more room, and is that available? How much is it going to cost? And who's going to take care of it in the long term? That's the problem we always have, that it's easy to start a new program, but how do you maintain it without knowing exactly where the money is going to come from? It's a danger.
And the governor seems to be lukewarm on that. Certainly it's not in his budget.
It's not in his budget, and I think by come May revise, I doubt it if he'll support that.
All right. Well, we're out of time, but Assemblymember Achadjian, thank you very much for coming
My
by
pleasure.
and talking about these issues. It was nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government on Demand. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.